Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Masanda Wana Fan Vlog. It's the match review. A bit odd because I'm alone. Tutu and Neo unavailable this weekend. They'll also be unavailable the next weekend. Yeah, you're gonna see me alone. Maybe next week I might bring Denga on camera. Maybe I might bring Denga on camera. So yeah, we are not gonna be long. Phew. We made it. We made it to the quarterfinals. We made it to the quarterfinals, and for the first time in a while, we are not a seeded team. We are second. We are second, and it's a bit odd because usually you are there with the likes of Al Ahly. You are there with the big boys, and now you are. And but which is what a lot of people said. Maybe finishing top doesn't help us in the semifinals, doesn't help us in the knockout stages. Maybe we should finish second, and then maybe something can happen, and then we can make the finals. And let's see, because we are there now. We are there now. It was a very it it it. It felt like it's one of those games. It felt like it's one of those Champions League games, a do or die. Even though we just needed a point to make it through, and I felt like it's gonna be one of those games where by halftime we are cruising. By halftime we are cruising. I felt like we'll get goals today. Even Musa was saying it. He was on Soccer Africa and he was here for the pre-match press conference. Musa Libusa said it's the first home game of the year, and the players are looking to make it a game to remember for the supporters. And in the first half, we played like that. We played like that. But before I jump to the game itself, I was extremely happy with the lineup. I thought it was the strongest lineup we can put up on the field today. I felt like it was the type of lineup the strongest lineup we can put on the field today. I think Spelele Mkulisi did well in the game that he started. I can't remember now which game it was. I think it was the game in the DRC. I think the game in the DRC. He did well. And one thing that I really liked about the lineup was the fact that we we are getting consistency with the lineup. Grant and Mali, midfield of Tebza, Allende, and Spelele. I think the more we play with, we don't change much in terms of like the combinations in midfield. We don't change much. We don't change much our centre back pairing. I think we will start to build momentum because if you think of this season, it's been an up and down season. It's been we've had different lineups for different games, and we always lamented the fact that when we change lineups, we struggle to build momentum and synergy. So for the fact that now you can almost tell who's gonna start in the center back pairing, who's gonna start in midfield. I think we are heading in the right direction in terms of that. I was happy with the lineup. Happy with Divine at left back. Tapelo obviously after Kuliso got a red card, but more importantly, I was happy with the front three. This is the front three that gave Chiefs a hiding at FNB. This is the front three that I thought, with more games, they will get to understand each other more. Um, with more games, they will start playing better. Because if you remember at the beginning of the season, we were getting Reynas, Lucas, and Tashrik, and they played very well at the beginning, and they had built some momentum together as a three-man attack. And because Tashrik just came from an injury that he sustained against Polokwane City, he's also slowly being brought back into the team. But I thought this was the best front three that we can put through for us to get something out of this game. Um, Happy with how we started. I thought our intensity was very good. I thought we started the game very well. We we held on to the ball. We did our best to poke holes in the Asfat defense, and we got the chances. We really got the chances. If all the chances that we created were converted, Shalulile easily has a brace at the very minimum in the first half. We created the chances, we got the chances, but we just didn't bury all the chances that we got. And it took a set piece for us to get our first goal, which is also good because we've been conceding via set pieces a lot, and we haven't been using our set pieces as well as we should. I don't remember the last time we got a free kick goal. I think it was somewhere last season, and today we got a goal out of a free kick, and I thought it was a good thing because the Champions League is a very complex competition. Even the coach was saying that it's a game of details, and the details determine the result. And I thought today, in the first half, we were good with the details. We were good with the details. Our combination play, even though like I felt like at certain moments, Reynas and Lucas Ribeiro were holding on to the ball for too long. Instead of like playing a pass, they were holding on to the ball for too long. And by the time they want to pass, you find that Peter is in a offside position, or Reynas has to bend the run again to stay on side. And I thought with more risk taking, we could have buried this game easily in the first half. But in the second half, I wasn't happy with our intensity because sometimes you can slow the game down, but you can keep your intensity in the game. You can keep your bite. You can keep your fight. You can keep your steel. And I thought one thing that I thought we did very well was our build-up. And even though it was, in the first half it was very good, but in the second half it was a lot heavier. It was heavy. In the first half, there were times when Blesser was coming in to be the first receiver, and Blesser being Blesser, he's so composed you think there's no one around him. And I thought we did that well in the first half. But in the second half, I felt that it was a bit heavy. There were moments where Divine had to make a last-ditch tackle. There were moments where Ronwen had to hoof it because they're pressing us. And I thought Asfa did very well, like to press with the three. I hadn't really watched the Botswana player, Tumisang, but I thought he really helped Asfa to press today. And I think their game plan worked to the T, because the coach even said in the pre-match press, I even said it today, that every game they are using it to grow. They wanted to see how far they are by playing Sundowns in Loftus. They wanted to suffer, to come here and suffer playing against Sundowns, but it will be an indication to them as to how far they are. And he says a draw is a very good result for them. So it tells you how difficult it has become for teams to play against Sundowns here at Loftus. But I thought the second half, I think we continued to play well, but I think our intensity dropped. That's the only thing that I can say I'm lamenting about the second half. But all in all, I thought we had a very good game. We had a very good game overall, because we controlled the game and it just became nervy and we were a bit edgy. And it's something that I also asked the coach in the press conference, that are you looking to work on the mental aspect? Because play-wise, I think we are fine. But going into the knockout stages, if there's one hurdle that Sundowns have to overcome, is the mental hurdle of what can go wrong. Because every time we play the knockout stages, there's always, and I think it also comes from the stands, because I think we become nervy as supporters as well, and we don't rally behind the team when they need it the most. And I think it's something that we have to meet in the middle somewhere, between supporters and the players. We have to meet each other halfway and take this team to a semi-final, take this team beyond the semi-final and go to the final. Because I honestly feel that the Champions League this season doesn't look as tough of a task than it has looked in the past 3 seasons. So I honestly feel that the least we could do, that we can do this season, is a final. But it will depend what we do between now and March 28th and 29th, when we play the first leg of the quarterfinals. But anyway, I'm expecting this team to grow a bit more, because you can see that what Coach Miguel wants to do. You can really see that this guy wants this team to play, to be brave, to our midfielders to come and interchange and be the first receiver. Our build-up is looking like the build-up that we know, the Sundowns that we are used to. And as long as he continues to play brave. I think we will be happy as supporters. The only thing that we need now, I think we just need to jump the mental hurdle of being nervy and edgy around the 78th minute when the result is is in limbo, and because honestly you can't lead 3-0, 4-0 in a quarterfinal or semi-final. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, we've led 3-0 against Zamalek in a final, so we can always rely on getting more goals for us to rally the team. We can rely on the team to get more goals for us to go through. We need to know that even Kushulani said it, that as supporters we can't suffer with the team. When the team is suffering, we have to rally them to get out of the the funk that they are in and manage and hold on to the result. So, yeah, I think that's all I can say about today's game. It's gonna be awkward to do the ratings alone. So I'll bounce off the ideas that I have for the ratings on Denga, and Denga will either say he feels it might be, or I will take his rating, and we close the episode. So with Ronwen today, I felt it wasn't a commanding performance. It wasn't a vintage Ronwen performance. But the thing about Ronwen is that you must always remember that he has set the bar so high that you can't always judge him by the bar that he has set. But it's a gift and a curse, because when you see performances like this, you get to realize that we've been spoiled by Ronwen and giving us the performances that he's given us. But today, I thought in the build-up he did well. I thought he was vocal as usual. He tried to be as commanding as he usually is. And even the goal that he conceded, I'm not really sure. I still need to see that goal properly, and I can't say I have like a full-on assessment of how that goal came, or who do we look at to say so and so could have done better. But all in all, I felt like our defense could have done better. But we must also remember that we have a young Mali Bongwe who's probably doesn't have 30 games for this team, for the first team. So he's still young and he's still learning. But as you learn, we have to accept that he will have mistakes here and there. I mean, we've seen mistakes from experienced players, so I'll take a mistake from a young player who's on his first season with us. Ronwen, I think today's performance is somewhere between a 6.5 and a 7. I'm not sure where I'm leaning towards. Denga, where are you leaning? Towards a 7. I'll take Denga 7, guys. It's not easy being alone here, so I'll have to listen to what he's saying and take what he's saying. Yeah. Mm. Towards a 7 sounds fair, ne? Yeah. So Denga says a 7, so I'm saying a 7 as well. I thought from the entire back five, counting Ronan as well, I thought Divine had the best performance today. I thought Divine was very good. He made some, I think, two last ditch tackles in the second half, but he was very, very good. I think Divine was very good. When I think of a man of the match from today's game, I thought Blesser's first half was very good. Divine was very good. Shalulile was very good. Um, but I think I'll give Divine an 8.5 for today's performance. I thought Divine was very, very good today. Um, Grant, you know the thing about Sundowns is that as you grow into the team, eventually there will be someone who will need you to hold their hand. And so far, I think Grant is doing well to hold Mali's hand and almost fast track his progress and his development in the first team, because he's playing big games. And I think Grant is doing such a good job. And I think somewhere, somehow, his game will also suffer because Mali's still learning. There will be mistakes, but also he will also have to, because the instances where Mali covers him and he also has to cover Mali. And one thing I realized is that we are now maintaining a higher line um, than we did at the beginning of the season, and I think that also comes with it will need the muscle memory to kick in to say this is how we do it. But all in all, I thought Grant had a good game. He had a good game. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy. He was just in the middle. I will give Grant a 7 as well. I think Grant and Miley, I'll give them both a 7. Even though I feel like Miley's stronger. If you can look when you watch him play, you can see that his stronger attributes in the build-up. In the build-up on the ball, actually, on the ball, he's very good, and he still has a lot to learn off the ball. Even on the ball, there's still things that he can do better. But you can see so far that he's stronger on the ball and during our build-up, in the build-up phase. So I'll give him and Grant a 7. I thought Tapelo today had a very quiet performance, and it's not without having opportunities to give us what Tapelo gives us, but also when you haven't been starting in a lot of games, it's not easy to come in the game and be at your level best. I thought Tapelo today, his performance was not at the level that we are used to. I think I'll give Tapelo today a 5.5. Uh, I felt like he could have he had opportunities to grow in the game. There are two balls that found him in the first half. One from Shalu, another one I'm not sure if it was from Allende or from who. And there's one where he could have played it across first time, but he tried to control it and it just he couldn't recover. And the other one, the one that was from Shalu, okay, that one was high and it was very strong, so I can't say that he could have maybe played it first. But yeah, I don't think it was a good or a vintage performance from Tapelo as we know him. But yeah, I think a 5.5. I thought Tebza was very good today. Tebza was biting in the midfield. He was winning a lot of balls. He was helping us play. It, it was a very good box-to-box performance from Tebza today. The one thing I still want to see from Tebza is him taking more shots, him being aggressive, but because he's playing back as the six, I think it's almost like a tough season for him because when he came in and played, he was playing as an 8 since the season started, and then he's been playing as a 6 ever since uh, Coach Cardoso came in. But all in all, I think he was one of our better performers today. He was very good, especially in the second half. I joked the other time, Kere, I wonder like if Tebza gets a lot of gets called up randomly to do a doping test because it seems as if he goes a gear higher. Like from the 80th minute to close the game, he's always like hard running. He runs as if it's still the first half. So I thought Tebza had a very good game, very good performance. I think I gave Divine an 8.5. I think I'll give Tebza an 8. Tebza, I think, deserves an 8 for that performance. It was a very good performance. Marcelo also had one of his better performances because I think Marcelo, since the season started, hasn't really been good. I can go back to maybe the two games at FNB against Chiefs, I would say, are the games that he played very well. But some games he's just not been at the level that we have been used to seeing Marcelo at. I wonder now if maybe because it's a bit more normal for him because Tebza is at the 6 and he's the one who has to connect our midfield with our attacking line. I thought today he had a good game, a better performance than what he's had recently, and I'll give Marcelo a 7.5. I will also give Blesser a 7.5, mostly because of the first half. I thought Blesser in the first half was very good. Very controlled performance. He helped us in terms of holding on to the ball. He helped us in the build-up. He helped us with so many things. I thought it was a very good performance from Blesser, and long may it continue. I thought Blesser, yeah, 7.5. Lucas Ribeiro started off like a house on fire. I think the first 10 games of the season, he was head and shoulders above everyone, and he was a clear favorite for player of the season. But recently, I think he's dipped. I think his performances started dipping around the MTNA, no, Carling Cup semi-finals. Around that time, I think his performances just haven't been as good as they were at the beginning of the season, and I don't know what it's gonna take for him to be back at that level. But the thing about him is that he can produce a quality moment out of nothing and give you a goal out of nothing, and that's the one thing that I will never give up on Lucas, even if he'll have 10 bad games. I know that he can find a special moment in any game against anyone. But I thought today's performance, he was involved, especially in the first half, was very involved. In the second half, there was a moment where I thought he could have gotten an assist or a secondary assist, even though he got an assist for Shalulile's goal, because that free kick, he's the one who got the assist. I thought he could have gotten more in the second half. But all in all, he was involved, and it was not for a lack of trying. But I thought he's just not been as unplayable as he was when we started the season. But even with all that I've said, I think Lucas, I'll give a 7.5. I'll give a 7.5. Lucas doesn't always have to be at the top of his game to give you a goal or an assist, and that's the one thing that I feel is an intangible, and it's something that you can always look as a positive when it comes to him. Ikram Reynas had a quiet performance. Also, I think a victim of how he started the season, because he's been banging goals left, right, and center. And to be honest, we are where we are because of his goals. He's helped us a lot. Against Raja, he scored. Against Asfa away, he scored. And I think we have to accept that sometimes he might not have the goal, but his presence might help Shalu, might help Ribeiro, might help whoever to get a goal, because I can guarantee you that Ikram Reynas comes up when the opposition team is doing their video analysis. So that in itself speaks volume. Quiet performance today. I think I'll give Ikram a 6. I'll give him a 6. Is it too high or is it too low, Denga? It's okay, ne? Yeah, I think Ikram I'll give a 6. Shalulile got a goal, could have gotten two goals in the first half. Could have gotten 2 goals in the first half. But the fact that he got a goal, when your main guy, when your number 9 starts getting goals in games like these, because you look at the game against Maniema, he came off the bench, he gave us the first goal, cost the own goal for the win. Comes in this game, and in every game, first half, gives you a goal, and that is a proper number 9 goal, like a proper striker goal. Shalu is Shalu, man. Shalu is Shalu. And I'll keep giving you guys the update. He's now on 96 goals for Sundowns. He's 4 goals away from giving us 100 goals in 5 seasons. I will keep saying this. Show me a striker who will give you 20 goals a season for 5 seasons straight. 100 goals in 5 seasons is 20 goals a season. Show me a striker, even in Europe, show me a striker who gives you those type of numbers. He's now standing, he's equal with Mshishi in the Champions League for goals, even though you will count the goal against Wydad in the AFL because it was a CAF competition as 18 CAF competition goals, but Champions League purely, he's now equal with Mshishi on 17 goals as the highest scoring PSL player in the Champions League. And that's what you want out of your striker. That's what you want out of your number 9. Didn't have a big performance, but managed to get us the goal, managed to affect the result of today. And when you look at how Shalulile played from before AFCON, after AFCON last season, and this season, it hasn't been rosy, it hasn't been good, it hasn't been the vintage Shalulile that we know. But he's getting important goals, which is, I think, very important. And long may it continue. Long may it continue in the quarterfinals, in the semis, and God willing in the finals as well. I'll give Shalulile a 7.5 for today's performance and also for today's goal. I was also impressed with Tashrik Matthews when he came on in the second half. I thought he was very good and he nearly got a goal. Tashrik is he's a tricky customer. He's a tricky customer. He always finds a way to be in the box to either assist or score a goal. And today he was in the box twice, where he nearly gave a good assist and where he nearly got a goal. And going forward, these are the type of things that you need from your forward players. I was really impressed with Tashrik off the bench, and I think I will give him a 6.5 for that performance. Neo Maema came in and immediately went into affect the game as well. He had a very good shot, even though he wasn't on target, but he had a very good shot on at goal. And yeah, I think I'll give Neo a 6. And Salas didn't have enough time on the pitch for us to rate him. Who else came on? It was just 3 subs, ne? Yeah, I think it was just 3 subs. But all in all, I think I'm just happy for the result. I'm not too happy with the fact that we conceded that late because it's becoming a thing now in the Champions League. But I think it's something that we can fix. But yeah, to rate the coach, I think today, perfect lineup. Everything was perfect up until we conceded the goal. I think I'll give the coach a 9 out of 10. Supporters, I will give. I'm rating the supporters a 7 today because it was edgy. The last 10 minutes we were not at our best. But yeah, I'll give the supporters a 7 because we were not at our best numbers wise, but we were also not our best in terms of like singing and running behind the team. But I think that's why I even said that we also have to meet the players halfway somewhere. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching me rambling for longer than I expected to talk. Yeah, expect this again next week, unless if Denga wants to be on camera. Otherwise, you're stuck with me. So yeah, thank you for whoever watched this long. See you again against Magesi and also in the Nedbank Cup, and then from then, Tutlo and Neo will be back. Sharp, sharp.